Reverend Dr. Ernest Tagoy and Mrs. Tagoy, members of the Board of Trustees and Corporation of Central Philippine University, led by Dr. Elmer Pedigosa. Please stand. But of course, our two hosts, the CPU FOAA President, Lee Plagata, the CPOAA of Greater Toronto Area, Ms. Miriam Abi, fellow Centralians, ladies and gentlemen, good evening again. I'm happy to be here today because this is the 12th global reunion in attendance for us. We have attended all the global reunions since it started in Chicago in 1998. We don't want to miss this event in Toronto. We were here in 2003 when we had a problem with SARS-1. And how many of you can say that you were here in 2003? So we are glad that this event was postponed because it made it possible for us, by the grace of God, that we are here led by the Central Spirit to this beautiful city of Toronto. And let me take this opportunity to thank all of you for all the support you have provided the university during the time that I was president for 15 years. We have gone through a lot of disasters, and you were there ready and willing to help with your support and prayers. And thank you for that. The university was visited by Typhoon Frank during my before I became president of CPU. However, I was fortunate enough to be the president during the time of recovery. And without you, it would have been difficult because, as you know, 1,200 communities in Panay were flooded, and the campus was in a terrible mess. And thanks to the support of alumni from all over the world, the suffering of our faculty and staff was reduced because of your support and prayers, and also because of the support of two people, Dr. Alfonso Oy and Dr. Lucio Tan. We were faced with various challenges. I would call it a reign of challenges during my tenure as president. But with the support of the alumni from all over the world and the resilience of our faculty and staff, we were able to overcome those series of difficulties. And we are glad that we have this central spirit with us, and it leads us to whatever we have to do to make sure that the university continues to provide excellent Christian education for life. And I'm sure you know that what that means. your life is an example of what that means. You are not only concerned with your families, but also with the communities where you are in right now, or when you finish your education at CPU. As I mentioned, we faced many challenges. The first one was, of course, we had to pay 30 million of loan by the university, which was done before my tenure. And also, we were visited by several typhoons, which affected a lot of people, and we, including the alumni, in support of the communities, especially with their livelihood, they were able to recover. The next challenge that we faced was a government-induced problem. Because of the K-12 education reform, 2 years of high school was added to our curriculum, which brought about financial hardship to parents and also to institutions. However, we made sure that we continue to produce graduates with adherence to our mission, which is to provide them with excellent Christian education for life. The next challenge that we faced was again caused by the government. The government decided to provide free tuition in state universities, and it did have an impact on our enrollment. And with the education reform that was done, it was estimated that we will incur a large deficit over the years that it is implemented. And the Vice President for Finance did some estimate, and we projected it to be over 300 million. But it did not happen. Instead, we learned that the best way for the university is to operate in a way that we are good stewards of the resources provided by God to our parents and alumni who continued to send their children to Central Philippine University. So for the next years that I was president, we built a 5-story classroom building. We added 1 floor to the engineering building. I'm sure the engineers here will look at, we will visit the campus and they will see that it looks different than when they were built. And the facade now looks like Robles Science Hall and Franklin Hall. We also added 1 floor to the elementary school because at that time enrollment was going up. However, something happened to the country, and you remember it. We were affected because we were closed down, and many people in the Philippines lost their jobs. But at Central Philippine University, even during the pandemic, we have enrollment that made sure of the existence of the university. So over the years, by judiciously using the resources of the university and wisely making sure that it is spent for its purpose, we are able to spend over 300 million for maintenance of old buildings. You know that we have termite infested old buildings, and in fact they were moving floors, and it's not because that our faculty are now have gained weight, it's because the termites have gained weight. And we painted most buildings. We replaced old roofs because they are leaking. We ran out of pails to receive the falling rain. So it's better to replace the roof. And all these challenges facing the university, we were able to maintain excellent academic performance, so that for 15 years, we maintained the autonomous status granted by CHED. And it was extended for the next 2 years because of the academic performance of the university in the last 5 years of my term. And thanks, Dr. Dagohoy mentioned our TBI, our technology business incubation, because it is a vindication or an indication that I selected the right people to do the job. So we were able to get that 13 million grant from the government. So over the years, many alumni have continued to support the university through scholarships. I'd like to mention especially, in addition to what was mentioned by Dr. Bogasia, one particular family produced or started a foundation in honor of their parents, and they are supporting 10 scholars every year. So 10 more additional scholars the following year until it will reach 40 scholars. So we have generous alumni. I would like to mention especially, not the names because I have not asked permission, but thanks to 8 families, 8 alumni families, they contributed or donated to the university in many projects, more than 50 million pesos, not dollars. I wish it's in dollars. But we see that the alumni are really looking back at their alma mater to make sure that the needs of the students are met, especially the support for work students. I am the only president that was a work student in the past. And I'm glad that I got my education even when I had to work hard for it. So, your support is always welcome by the university. And many of our alumni are regularly contributing to funds provided for various purposes, scholarships, work student programs, anything that would help our students who have difficulty financing their education to complete their education at CPU. So thank you very much, and I would like to congratulate GTA and CPU FOA for continuing this tradition of global reunions. Thank you.